Hi, I'm Stephanie Koshka with Agriculture for Life. Today we're here at Kirk's Alpaca Farm. I'm here with Jose Kirk. Thank you so much for having us today.
You're welcome.
We've had a chance to tour around your farm a little bit, visit the alpacas, but first I'd like to know a little bit about you, where you came from, where did you grow up?
So I was born in Montreal, but I grew up most of my life in Nova Scotia, and I moved to Alberta about 13 years ago.
So how did you get involved in farming?
My husband's been in farming all of his life, and we just moved to this farm about 6 years ago.
So this is obviously quite different from where you grew up. Like, you didn't have much of a farming background, and then all of a sudden you have an alpaca farm. So how did that get started? Why alpacas?
I just felt like we had this beautiful property and it was being wasted with nothing on it. And then I saw 38 alpacas for sale online, and I asked my husband if we could buy them.
So you started with 38 alpacas, and you obviously have quite a few more now. How many do you have?
87.
Okay, so you've expanded quite a bit.
Yes, we've bought some extra ones since then, but we've also bred and had babies.
Oh, nice. And then with the alpacas specifically, with acquiring them, and you've obviously expanded so much, was it a big learning curve, learning how to just take care of the alpacas?
Totally. Actually, my husband grew up with cattle, and obviously I grew up with no animals. And so it's been incredible to learn from other alpaca farmers in Alberta, just of course with our own trial and error. Alpacas are amazing creatures, actually. And one thing we've figured out over the last 2 years is that they all have their own personalities.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah, some of them are more playful than others, and some of them are obviously less shy than others.
Aw.
And it's so cute, actually.
Aw, yeah. I bet that's been a neat experience figuring out more about them individually too.
We actually name almost all of
Oh,
them.
do you?
I mean, I don't remember all their names, but
That'd be a
most of their
lot.
names. And people that follow us on our journey, they love getting to know them too, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, neat. And walking around your property, you have more than just the alpacas. I've noticed you have chickens, you have puppies, you have a lot going on here. And then you also have a playground, basketball court. So it seems very family oriented. Do you get a lot of families coming through?
Yeah, we get a lot of families, and some of them bring picnics, and we have some that come back and bring different family members. It's just kind of a great experience that they can, yeah, just kind of enjoy. I mean, not only the alpacas, like you said, but also the playground and the view and the garden and the chickens, and so it's wonderful.
Yeah, they kind of come get a bit of a rural Alberta experience.
Yeah.
And you were saying too that you get people from not just Alberta, but all of Canada and even all around the world too.
Right, and so people hear about us and they're visiting Alberta, and so we've had people from Ireland and Scotland and Ontario and BC, and it's been amazing, actually.
Yeah, a very unique experience. In addition to visiting the alpacas, what else can people expect to learn or to see or do when they come visit your farm?
One thing that we do is we grow a big garden. People think it's just for us, but I'd love to teach people about even how to grow veggies or tricks. I like to give tours of the garden or the greenhouse. People just love learning new things, or they'll have questions on how I got my plants so big. And I do joke that it is the alpaca poop. That is a great manure, but it's just amazing to just be able to teach people how to grow their vegetables and just kind of how to do it even from the city.
And I think when people are a bit more removed from where their food comes from or haven't experienced that, to see it being grown and then even just picked and eaten like that is a bit of a novelty.
For
Not
sure.
many people experience that.
Yeah, for sure. And even with our chickens, there'll be the people here our guests, when they come, they can feed our chickens. And it's kind of neat when they ask, oh, are these eggs come from your chickens? And I'm like, totally, just the ones that you just fed. And so it's kind of neat thing that they start talking to their children about it. And one of our goals is to teach our guests on where their food comes from, like you were saying. So it's pretty neat.
Because I'm sure a lot of people are also used to getting their eggs from the store. And then they come here and they see it's right from this chicken. Like, kind of puts it together.
Yeah, totally. And a lot of the things too with the vegetables that are homegrown look totally different, not perfect, than they do in the store. So that's something that they just love seeing. Yeah.
And then also realizing this was grown right here. It doesn't look like the ones in the store. It tastes just as good, if not better. And it's just as good for you. It's all the same.
Actually, I would say people say it tastes better.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. It's always better when you've grown it yourself. It
Yeah.
always makes a big difference.
Totally.
And earlier you were mentioning that you also like to educate people on your alpacas too and how they can act around them.
Totally. So one thing that we do is when people come, we'll tell them how to feed the alpacas, rules on the pasture. And I think what people love when they come here, they not only get to see them from the other side of the fence, but they actually get to interact with them in the pasture in their own natural environment. It's just so fun to, like I said, watch their personalities and be able to feed them out of your hands. But I also love to teach about, the lifespan of alpacas or just different facts about alpacas. Just such a different animal that is not native to Alberta.
Are people, when they visit, are they usually a little bit shy to go interact with them at first, or do people usually just get right in there?
Actually, that's a great question. To expect is that seeing a picture of someone interacting with an alpaca and interacting with a live one is totally different. And so we kind of prepare people for that experience. And everybody has a different experience when they come here. That's something really important to remember because everybody's level of comfort is different being around not only one alpaca, but many alpacas at a time.
And then we're also sitting in front of your store right here. And when we walked through earlier, you had products from a bunch of local vendors. Then I also noticed you have products made from alpaca fiber. So could you tell us a little bit more about those products and the alpaca-based products too?
Most of our products are local or Canadian, and I would say 90% are within 2-hour radius. So that's very important for us. Our alpaca products some are local and some are fair trade from Peru. We have socks and yarn and alpaca stuffies and scarves, and so it's alpaca.
Oh, do you have a bestseller, something that people really like?
Our mittens, I must say, and our hats are huge. But honestly, everybody likes the stuffies. Even adults love the stuffies, and yarn is also very popular.
So you mentioned you've been very busy. You have lots of people coming. So if I'm somebody who's heard about this alpaca farm, it's this cool experience, what can I do to come visit? How do I prepare for it?
Oh, that's a great question. So what we appreciate is when people go on our website at kirksalpacafarm.ca and they can actually go and book their visit. What we want here is people to experience peace, calmness, and if it's too overcrowded, that's not what we want. We want you guys to be able to enjoy the alpacas. And of course, we don't want the alpacas to be too stressed either if there's too many people here.
So always book through the website first.
Yes, that'd be great.
You bought the alpacas 3 years ago, and you've been running this sort of tourist business for people to come through for about 2 years now.
That's right.
And then what lessons have you learned within these last 2 years of doing it?
I've learned that I love being around people. I just love sharing our farm with others. Like it's just been just incredible, just meeting so many new people and they're coming back and you get to know them by name. And I think that's kind of my favorite part about the farm is just getting to know people.
And you were saying you have regulars. You have people that keep coming back too.
Yeah, we do. And then they'll bring family members and they'll bring cousins and siblings and people will bring their kids for birthdays, and it's been a joy to share our farm with others.
So this is clearly a very unique experience. Like I don't know of many alpaca farms where people can just come visit and interact with the alpacas. But what is your favorite part or has been your favorite part about owning these alpacas and this business that you've started to run?
I would say the alpacas, I never get bored of them. They're cute, they're funny, they're weird looking, they're gorgeous. And so that's obviously exciting since it's not boring. But I also love meeting new people from every walk of life, every different ages, and building friendships, different cultures. It's been really neat to learn about just other people.
I've really enjoyed having the chance to see them and interact with them. It's been really cool. And I really appreciate you letting us out here and showing us around. And thank you for having us today.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you for coming.